Hello, and welcome to SmartFactory by PCG. We're a leader in digital manufacturing solutions for NetSuite. In today's video, we're going to look explicitly at the SmartFactory Scheduler. The scheduler is a key component of what we call the planning rhythm that shows the synthesis between functionality offered by Oracle NetSuite and complemented by SmartFactory. Our approach? The scheduler tackles complex scheduling challenges. Our development team leverages decades of research in optimization problem modeling. The scheduler uses advanced AI algorithms to make decisions to optimize schedules based on the rules that you select. The scheduler executes thousands of times per second in order to drive that optimal sequence. Fully deployed on a cloud infrastructure, it ensures seamless scalability for varying workloads. Now let's go look at the solution.
Welcome to this short demonstration of PCG's SmartFactory Scheduler. SmartFactory is a manufacturing execution system that is built on the Tulip platform and includes applications like shop floor control, quality, compliance, and machine integration. In this video, we are focusing on the finite scheduling solution in the context of NetSuite. The scheduling flow starts by retrieving the work orders from ERP, in this case NetSuite. You can then prioritize and deprioritize the work and ask the scheduler to optimize the sequences. Once you approve of the schedule, you can send the sequence numbers to SmartFactory. The scheduler is a web-based application that analyzes the work order data before and after an optimization run. In the top portion of the screen, you see some KPIs related to the work orders, work center utilization, and idle time in totality. You're looking at the base version of the scheduler, where the objective is to minimize the number of late orders. The scheduler looks at individual operations that make up the work order and schedules them in such a way that the capacity constraints are respected. In the left column, you can see the individual work centers, some of which may have multiple resources within the same work center. You can also have multiple breaks within the schedule, and you can easily move the timeline left or right. When you double-click any operation, you will be redirected to the work order view where you can see the work order and the various operations. You can query different work orders in this view, and as you can see in the second column from the right, the scheduler supports lag types, where operations can overlap each other. Then there is a late order view, followed by a work center view. You can select one or many work centers and see their actual utilization rate, total schedule time, total required time, and earliest finish times. You can also toggle between the previous scheduler runs if you want to compare the output. Let's now back up for a moment and go through the entire scheduling flow, starting with the work order creation in NetSuite. You can see here that I'm copying an existing work order. Once the record is saved, I will get a new work order number, which in this case is work order 1611. You can now go to the scheduler and submit a new NetSuite run. The scheduler now looks for all work order operations that are either in process, released, or firm planned. Notice the green banner that signifies that the work orders were successfully loaded. You can view the loaded work orders in the configuration screen, and you can filter by order number, work order 1611 in this case. When you navigate to the Optimization Settings button, you can see the work center KPIs based on the orders that were just loaded, and without having them being optimized yet. You can now start manipulating the schedule by excluding work orders that are not needed, and prioritizing or deprioritizing others. Maybe you want to filter on certain sales orders or parent work orders, or you want to prioritize certain customers. You can also change the behavior at the operational level. Here you can assign specific resources within a work center. or tell the scheduler that something is currently in active operation, meaning it's already running on the floor and should go first in the schedule. Once satisfied, you can hit the Optimize button and the scheduler will sequence the operations in such a way that the capacity is maximized and the number of late orders is minimized. You can now see the output and the constraint schedule. If you cannot find your operation right away, you can navigate to the work order view and query from there. In this case, we are looking for work order 1611 that we just brought over from NetSuite. The more advanced version of the scheduler uses a similar approach but adds additional rules to its objectives. In addition to minimizing late orders, you can minimize setup times between operations, minimize total make span, minimize total idle time, or minimize operational cost. Under the optimization settings, you can add additional objectives and change their relative priority. So in this case, I'm prioritizing the minimization of setup time between operations. You can then name this schedule run so you compare it to other runs. And in terms of adjusting the schedule, you can use the same parameters as before to prioritize and deprioritize. But you can also use tooling. You can assign a specific tool to an operation, which the scheduler then will take into consideration. In this case, I will find an operation that requires tooling, and I'm going to assign caliper 1 to work order 129, and then optimize the schedule. You can now see in the upper left your first objective and how it impacts the second objective. The user interface in this version includes the lines for dynamic tooling, where tool packages could move from one station to another, illustrated by the connected dots. You can also have static tooling, where the tooling package remains at the same station. You can show or hide the tools by clicking the gear icon. In the tooling view, you can see the operations by tool. And underneath the Gantt chart, there is a set of KPIs that describe the utilization of those tools. Let's take a quick look now at work order 129 to see the caliper that we assigned to it. You can also compare the various scheduler runs by going to the analytics view. You can add or remove individual runs and then review the different outputs. When you flip the card, you can compare the input parameters. In this example, you can see that the objectives were different during the input. Notice the difference between the setup time and the late orders between the two runs. You can also view the utilization rate by work center and see the impact as you toggle between the different scheduler runs.
Thank you for watching today's video on the SmartFactory Scheduler. To learn more about the other modules within SmartFactory, please check out smartfactory.com or select the other videos in this YouTube playlist.